This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
Welcome to this week's 3-Mall Player Spotlight, brought to you by Riverbank Brewing in Council Grove. We are thrilled to be joined this week by the man of the hour in K-State freshman quarterback Avery Johnson. But before we get started with Avery, we want to tell you all once again about our friends at Riverbank Brewing, who are making this weekly segment on 3-Mall possible, as they have partnered with Wildcat NIL and 3-Mall to bring a K-State football player on the show each week. Riverbank Brewing, located on Main Street in historic Council Grove, terrific craft beers. They brew in-house with Kansas-grown barley and hops. Brewery is located just off the Neosho River, has an awesome patio outdoor seating area overlooking the river, as well as multiple TVs outside, so you can enjoy this terrific fall weather we're having while enjoying a craft beer from Riverbank. Featured beers on tap this week include the Kanza Weizen, a German wheat beer made with Kansas-grown red wheat. Also on tap is the Golden Grove Cream Ale, a light and refreshing Pilsner ale made with Kansas-grown Pilsner. And if you're in the mood for something other than beer, try Riverbank's specialty cocktail made with Lewisburg cider and your own choice of vodka, rum, tequila, or whiskey. Riverbank Brewing open Thursday through Saturday. They also have beer available to purchase on the go, so you can stock up for your tailgate Saturday to take home and enjoy anytime. They'll be open for K-State's game Saturday, so if you're not able to get to Manhattan for Saturday's game against TCU, but you want something else fun to do, go to Riverbank Brewing and cheer on the Wildcats on one of their many TVs, craft beer, and the beautiful Flint Hills. For more information, go to riverbankbrewing.com or their Facebook page at facebook.com/riverbankbrewing. Avery, man, thanks so much for jumping on with us. We are thrilled to have you on. And I guess let's just start things off with this. So you have 5 rushing touchdowns Saturday. You've heard the numbers repeated to you numerous times, probably throughout the week. Most of any FBS player in the country this season, the most by a K-State player since your offensive coordinator, Colin Klein, recorded 5 rushing TDs in a game in 2011. As you look back on the game a few days later, what was that experience like for you Saturday?
Yeah, obviously just kind of being in that position, environment, and just being able to perform like that was just surreal to me. But it was a lot of fun just being able to go out there and, you work hard all week with your brothers, your teammates, and just being able to go on and put on a clinic with them. Credit to those guys because they just made my job easy on Saturday.
Did you expect to see that number of snaps going into the game as you headed into the week?
I really did not. I had no idea kind of how the game was going to go. I knew with kind of how Tech played, they struggled kind of stopping the quarterback run, so I always thought it might be, a possibility to go in here or there. But I was kind of expecting more, maybe like a Missouri snap count or something of that nature. But like I said, CK and Will helped me prepare all week, so that I'd be ready if I did get an opportunity.
Did you see a significant increase in text messages and calls from friends and family, Avery, after Saturday?
For sure. My phone was blowing up as soon as I got to the locker room. So there's a lot of people, kind of just, giving me, props.
Do you have a favorite of the 5 touchdowns on Saturday?
Yeah, I like the one with Ben Sinnott pulling, puts the first guy on his butt and then kind of just gets the next guy too, and it's just walking in from there. But I've seen it from like probably 2 or 3 different angles, and every time it's just like, that man's blocking ability is crazy.
Yeah, no, he was incredible on Saturday, getting after to the blocking game as well as the receiving game. Avery, that's the most snaps you played to date in a game at Kansas State. Was your body any more sore than usual afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played really a full football game, since last year. So it was definitely sore waking up on Sunday. But other than that, like, we have a great team up here, so we have a great recovery team. They set aside hours for us to go in and get in the cold tub, hot and cold therapy. Just a great team of people to allow us to get our bodies refreshed and just get ready for practice and get ready for the game next week.
You talked about this some after the game on Saturday, but I'm just curious, what has Will Howard meant to you since you stepped foot on campus?
He's been a great role model to me. He showed me kind of the reins and really taught me what K-State football is. So, credit to him. When I first got here in the spring, I didn't know anything. I met with, some coaches to try to just learn the playbook, but really credit to him for really teaching me, how to progress through reads, what to look for, how to watch film. Like, stuff that kind of just gets swept under the rug. He did all that for me. So I couldn't be any more blessed to be in the position I am today, to have, somebody who's experienced success in this league, to just be able to come in and kind of get in their back hip and just learn from them, and be a sponge and just soak up all the knowledge that he offers to me.
The TV broadcast kept panning to you and Will on the sideline numerous times during the game after you scored a touchdown. What was Will saying to you? Was he giving you any advice, or what were those conversations like?
Really, he was just saying, keep going. I had told him earlier in the game if he wanted me to look for anything to kind of help him out. So, he returned the favor when I was in there. But, he's the type of guy that he'll do anything just to make sure we get the win on Saturday. So, he was just being encouraging. He was telling me that, he was proud of me, happy for me. And, you don't get that at a lot of places. So just being able to have somebody be so encouraging on the sideline and still help you out, it just says a lot about his character.
You've spoken also in the past about your relationship with Colin Klein and how big he was in your decision to choose K-State. Can you maybe just expand on your relationship with him and what he's been like to play for?
It's been really fun to play for CK. Really, since I got in here, he's always told me he has the most confidence in the world in me. And whenever you have a lot of people that believe in you, it just takes a lot of pressure off your shoulders, and allows you to just go out there and play football. So we spend a lot of time during the week preparing for each opponent, and he does a great job of making sure that, I understand everything that's going on, and I understand, what looks I might see, and just making sure that I'm prepared come Saturday if I do get the opportunity to take some snaps.
Remind me, Avery, did you grow up a K-State fan?
Yes.
Who was your favorite K-State quarterback growing up? I'm going to guess it's an easy answer here, right?
Yeah, easy answer.
Yeah. I assume that Colin Klein was your answer there. So, hey, what's been the biggest challenge during your transition from high school football to Power 5 football at K-State?
Really, the speed of the game. At the end of the day, football is football, so you're still playing the same sport I've been playing since I was young. But in college, they just can change up, how things look before the snap, how things look after snap. There's so many different ways. They run so many different type of coverages, and everybody's the best player from their high school team. So it's like everybody has an all-star team. Everybody's fast. Everybody's smart. Everybody works hard. Everybody's strong. So it's just like the room for error is just a lot less. And every snap matters at this level. In high school, you might be able to get away with, losing focus or maybe not being as locked in, but you got to play the full 60 minutes in college, because every win is just so crucial at this level, and every snap can be the difference maker.
I'm curious, Avery, what, if any, challenges are there in a 2-quarterback system? You're used to being on the field consistently, obviously, when you dominated at Mays, but now you're rotating in and out some. What are some of the challenges or difficulties that presents for you?
I feel like the main challenge, I think Will would tell you the same thing, is just not knowing if you're going in or not until kind of like the last minute. And it's no knock to anybody, because sometimes the coaches don't even know who's going in. So the hardest part is just being able to stay focused even when you're not in, and stay locked in, because you never know whenever you might get thrown in there. But the way I look at it is just, you got to prepare like the starter, because you never know what could happen, and just be ready when your number's called.
I think one of the things that impresses so many of us, Avery, is just how you look so poised and composed when you're out there on the field playing quarterback in the Big 12 at such a young age. How do you do it? Or do you just maybe it's not as easy as you make it look, but you sure make yourself look pretty darn composed out there.
Yeah, kind of like, it's kind of a few things, ever since I've been young, my dad has always given me all the confidence in the world. And he texts me before every game and just lets me know to go out there and just play free and play confident, because the way I look at it, confidence is key. If you don't have any confidence in yourself, then you're not going to be able to go out there and play to your best abilities. And I just have just such a great team around me, coaches, players, training staff. Everybody just believes in one another. And when you get people around you that buy in and really lock into doing their job, then it just makes it so much easier on me, because all I have to do is my job, and I know the person to my right and my left is going to get the job done for me. So that just takes so much pressure off somebody's shoulders. It just allows you to go out there and just play ball.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here with Avery, and when we come back, we are going to talk more about Avery Johnson and the Kansas State Wildcats. But first, we got to tell you about our friends at Home Field Apparel. I'm actually rocking right now a really soft, super comfortable Home Field hoodie, retro logo. I guess you don't call it the Cocaine Willie logo. I'm not sure what the actual formal reference is for this logo, but I love it. And I can tell you that this hoodie is super warm and comfortable here as we head into the cooler weather in the fall season. I've got, you've heard me say before, I've got nearly 20 Home Field Apparel items in my closet. I've got a new shipment coming in the next couple days. Just got an email with a couple more hoodies, but 40 K-State apparel items on their website, all retro type gear. That's their style. They've got over 100 colleges to choose from. You've probably seen DY on our other shows rocking the numerous colleges. He's got Ohio, he's got Arizona, he's got Ole Miss. They've got everything that you could want. Tons of colleges to choose from, but they've got, arguably more from Kansas State than most colleges to choose from. So go to homefieldapparel.com, use discount code 3mall23, score 15% off your first order, and you'll be able to stock up here for Kansas State football the rest of the year and K-State basketball season. And look, we've said it before, Jerome Tang rocks a lot of home field gear. So you want to dress like Jerome Tang, recommend you wear Home Field too. So get on out to homefieldapparel.com, discount code 3mall23, 15% off.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Avery, you're one of the highest ranked recruits Kansas State's ever landed. Do you feel any added pressure being that guy, particularly since you're a Kansas kid kind of playing in your own backyard, only a couple hours from home? And if so, how do you deal with that?
The way I look at it is, I wouldn't say the whole situation I have really adds any pressure, but playing this sport at a high level, there's definitely pressure involved. But you hear it all the time, like pressure's a privilege and pressure makes diamonds. So the way I look at it is, if there wasn't any pressure out there, then you probably aren't doing anything right to begin with. And I've never been a person that's shied away from pressure. I'm actually somebody that kind of really encourages it and likes to be the kind of guy that steps up in those high pressure situations. So, I wouldn't say, staying home, playing for Kansas State has added any pressure, but with this game that we play, the higher up you get, there's always going to be pressure involved.
How eager are you to show off what you can do with your arm more?
The kind of negative connotation with me right now is that I can only run the ball. But the way I look at it is it's all God's timing. I just will do whatever it takes for this team to win. If that's me running the ball 100 times, and it's me running the ball 100 times. If it's me passing it 100 times, it's me passing it 100 times. At the end of the day, I trust in our offense coordinator. I trust in CK to make the right calls, and he trusts in me, whether that's my legs or my arm. I truly believe he believes in me, and I feel like it's just all in God's hands and all in God's timing.
I think those of us that have watched you in high school, Avery, know you can throw the heck out of the football and spin it. So we are eager to see it as well. Hey, who are maybe some of the younger guys on offense who we haven't seen play much yet that have maybe flashed in practice?
First person that kind of sticks out to me is Jace Brown. He's my roommate. He's probably like one of my best friends on the team since getting here. Like, you could ask some of the guys, like we pretty much do everything together. So that's really my guy. And you can just see him getting more comfortable in the offense and not having to second guess himself and really just being able to go out there and play fast. The coaches see it. So, we might be starting to see some more of him in the near future. And another guy is Trey Spivey. We connected on a deep ball against SEMO, and he just has so much raw talent, but he wasn't able to get in early, so he's kind of behind some of the other guys that have gotten in here early, but he has so much raw talent and just so much ability. So once he gets to start playing fast, he can definitely be a matchup nightmare too. But I feel like we have a really good class. And for years to come, with everybody developing and everybody kind of learning the system, we can definitely be something special.
I meant to ask you this when I asked about Coach Klein, but I'm curious, Avery, how involved is Coach Kleiman in the quarterback room and the day-to-day with you guys?
Super involved. It's really great to be able to have somebody that sees the game from the defensive side of the ball, to be able to kind of like teach it to you how a defender might look at some things. Because I don't know if a lot of coaches are like that. I wouldn't say a lot of head coaches are offensive minded or defensive minded, because I really have no idea what it stacks up to. But just being able to be able to sit down in a meeting once or twice a week with Coach Kleiman, and he comes in and sits in our meetings every day and just, kind of talks and says what he sees, and we kind of just spitball in the room. He's definitely super involved, super hands on. So I feel like we're definitely at an advantage just being able to have the head coach in our position meetings, as well as a bright mind like CK.
It's really interesting to bring that up, Avery, because when we had Adrian Martinez on the show last year, he mentioned the same exact thing, that Coach Kleiman's defensive background, secondary background enables him to kind of see the field from a defensive mindset, which was super helpful for him and something that he hadn't had before in his career. Hey, is there another quarterback that you kind of grew up modeling your game after, Avery?
Growing up, I feel like when I was really young, I liked to watch Russell Wilson play. Kind of whenever he was, at his peak playing in Seattle, winning Super Bowls and stuff like that. I kind of feel like now I find myself watching a lot of Patrick Mahomes, and that's really just because I'm a super big Chiefs fan. So his just God-gifted arm talent and being able to make plays off schedule is some of the best I've ever seen. But I really like to watch him play. But really, I can't say there's really one person that I try to model my game after, just because I feel like, I do some similarities here, some similarities there. But, I definitely like to watch whoever dominated. I love to watch Joe Burrow play, Lamar Jackson, guys like that, Jalen Hurts. There's a lot of really talented quarterbacks in the NFL. So I really just like to watch good football games, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, how surreal is it to know that Patrick, obviously, he's a big Tech fan, having played at Tech, and he very well may have been watching what you did on the field on Saturday on TV.
That'd just be crazy to think about, because in my mind, like, he has the opportunity to be the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Obviously, Tom Brady, in my opinion, is, but just with his track record so early in his career, he obviously has the opportunity to do those things. So just thinking of that is kind of crazy to me.
A few quick hitters here, Avery, and we'll get you out of here. I'm curious, what's the farthest you've ever thrown a football?
I have no idea. Probably like 60-some yards.
Well, I don't know.
90.
Yeah, not 90. Well, I don't know if you'll know this either then, but what's the fastest time you've been clocked at sprint speed since arriving at K-State?
I think like 22.3 or 22.4 miles per hour.
Is that the fastest on the team?
Not the fastest. I think VJ and like Jordan Wright, some of those guys. It's up there. I think it's, or Toby. I think it's top 3 or 4.
Which is insane, given Toby's size and how big he physically is. You were a multi-sport athlete at Mays, obviously. If you weren't playing football, what sport would you want to play?
Basketball. Basketball is the most, like, it's always been, I've always loved basketball. It's the most fun sport in my eyes. I always say it all the time. Like, basketball is just one of those sports where I kind of felt like if I was going to pursue basketball, then I would have to stop playing baseball and football, just because how like demanding it is year round, and it just feels like it never stops. But man, basketball was a lot of fun.
Well, I remember seeing some monstrous dunks from you, Avery, on Twitter that went viral in your basketball playing days. How would you describe your basketball style, your playing game?
Man, it was like I always just had a quick first step, so I always like to get to the basket. I played above the rim, but I could just finish around the basket well, like through contact, and just make like crazy type of layups. But My outside shooting game was so.
Have you?
A guy? I was a streaky shooter. Let's say that. If I got hot, I could hit shots, but I wasn't like a knockdown shooter that you could just.
Have you met Jerome Tang yet?
Yeah.
What do you make of him?
Man, he's a great guy. He's always always on. I see him on campus a lot with his Cats talks, and then my official visit, it was the first time I actually got to meet him because we went to the basketball and we're like messing around over there. So just a great guy, and I love how involved he is in the university. You just really don't see that. He's at like every football game. Just being able to see him, and he's just a great character person. You see him do a lot of things on social media, and I really think he does that not for the attention. He just does it because he's a great guy. So.
Yeah. I had to ask you this one, Avery, and I assume the answer is probably going to be no, but we had several people ask, do you ever plan to cut the hair, or is that going to be a staple of Avery Johnson's playing career, not only in college, but throughout life?
Yeah, I don't ever plan on cutting it. Probably have it long till it starts to fall out.
Yeah. Well, have the players given you any sort of nickname on the team? Because I saw Dream Dowling doing the sunshine GIF or GIF. I never say it right, but he was doing that on Twitter watching you play, the men's basketball staff.
Yeah, I've been called Sunshine since I was little playing football. It's kind of stuck around the locker room. Really, I don't get called much except for like AJ or Avery or Five. But to the fan base, Sunshine, I've definitely heard a lot more. But I'm all for it. I've been Sunshine since as long as I can remember.
Yeah. Well, hey, Avery, we really appreciate the time. Appreciate you jumping on. I think I speak for all Kansas State fans that we are thrilled to have you here and cannot wait to watch what you do throughout your career at Kansas State. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Avery.